Good morning to everybody near and far. There's a reason why the legacy media is dying. Why nobody is watching their news stories or reading their articles. I am going to show you 3 articles, 2 from the US media, 1 from the British media. Guess where I get the best story from? Let's start with ABC News. Hostages safe after Texas synagogue standoff. Captor dead. This was actually the very first story I found. Although I went through all the legacy media, I decided to go with the first one as my first story. Notice how it says, hostages safe after Texas synagogue standoff, captor dead. That already got my spider senses tingling. It made me think, was this a terrorist attack? Let's go on. Here's the subheadline. A man held hostages for more than 10 hours Saturday at a Texas synagogue where he could be heard ranting in a live stream and demanding the release of a Pakistani neuroscientist who was convicted of trying to kill U.S. Army officers in Afghanistan. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Definitely Islamic terrorism at work. You see, this Pakistani terrorist, this female Pakistani terrorist, well, yeah, she was convicted of trying to kill U.S. Army officers in Afghanistan, but we'll get to the full story on that when we get to our third and final story. Let's now go to another legacy outlet. Well, you can't talk about dying legacy news, fake news, without bringing up CNN, can you? Take a look at this headline. Hostages safely rescued after nearly 11-hour ordeal at a Texas synagogue. Officials say the suspect is dead. Now that's even more ambiguous than the first headline. And there's no subheadline to go with it, but to be fair to CNN, once you do get into the story, they do go into a little bit more detail than ABC does. But let's go to our third story of the day. This from the Daily Mail Online. Look at this headline. Incredible moment. 2 hostages escape British terrorist. Finally, we have a legacy media outlet that describes what this person really is. He's not merely a hostage taker, he's a terrorist. At Texas synagogue, moments before SWAT team stormed building, killing him and freeing remaining prisoner. Gunman wanted release, and he was a gunman. You could see in that little red circle right there, he's pointing his gun, and he pops right back in instantly. Anyway, she's been in jail since 2008 at Fort Worth. Let's take a look at this subheadline. FBI Special Agent Matt DeSarno said they will be working with the UK police on the case. You see, the US already knows who the suspect is. They've identified him. They won't tell us who it is. What do you want to bet that this UK citizen was an immigrant from, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, somewhere in the Middle East. Yeah, he was all of that. And I did promise to say a little bit more about Lady Al-Qaeda and why she's a terrorist. You see, she's Pakistani. She was picked up in Afghanistan by the local military. She was found with 2 kilos of cyanide and plans on chemical attacks on the Brooklyn Bridge and the Empire State Building. Now, while oh, by the way, the Afghanistanis turned her over to U.S. forces, and while she was being questioned by U.S. forces, she grabbed a rifle from a guard, started shooting, yelling, "Death to the Americans!" That's why she's in prison for 86 years on attempted murder. She grabbed a rifle from a guard, aimed it at the U.S. soldiers, and started firing. If she hadn't done that, even if she had been convicted of what? Transporting cyanide and plans on chemical attacks? What do you want to bet she'd be out by now? Now, since I've started researching this story, and it's been about an hour and a half, on several of the legacy media outlets, it's already dropped off the front page. You can find it if you go click on the U.S. news page on these legacy media outlets, but on some of them, it's already dropped off the front page because, well, it's blatantly obvious to you and I this was Islamic terrorism. Another thing they don't mention in any of these legacy media outlets right away, too, is this man claimed he had explosives on him, and what is told is that after the SWAT team stormed in, a couple of shots were heard and an explosion went off. That's the way they say it. A couple of shots were heard and an explosion went off. Now, people have said, whoa, 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 maybe it was flashbangs. If it was flashbangs, wouldn't it be the other way around? You throw the flashbangs in, you wait until they go off to stun who's ever inside, then you rush in, and then maybe you don't even have to shoot. If the flashbangs had been used, it would have been bang, and then shoot 'em, instead of shoot 'em, and then bang. Simple, isn't it?